gives me immense pleasure to introduce Sri Shashidhar Chikka. He's an architect renowned for contributions for significant projects. Instead of reading here, if you visit a school in Alsur, what it is we usually see stairs going up in the school and then they come down. What he designed is, you climb up, when you're coming down, he made it like a slide. The kids go to the first and second side, they come down sliding down. He designed it. And there are some trees which he didn't want to cut. He designed such a way that within the classroom there are trees going in and they are sitting next to it. This is in Alsur in Bangalore. So can you see, an architect today can make the thing so beautiful in the concrete jungle. And then this is one aspect. Of course, he has done great, beautiful things. This Arrow Mira International School here is designed. Then what is very interesting is his passion towards the ancient history, linguistics, philology, not I told. He has got philology of very concrete on what it is. And great interest in this Indus civilization and then the origin of that. It's a true, I would say, the word is, it's never done before or not documented. So those are such secrets he's trying to dig out of his passion. He reaches there, all the nooks and corners of the forest and then tribes, and then he meditates and goes to the inner sense, does the darshana and brings it down, and then amalgamates everything and try to put it as a research paper. What a beautiful way to have this person here, Sri Shashidhar Chikka. We are very happy to have you, sir. Please.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arvindaya. Good evening, friends. I am the last speaker for the conference. The 3-day program was an excellent one, very well organized, and I thank one and all who have worked for this great occasion. I mean, I'm really honored to be here and being able to present my paper, Philology, Decoding Veda. It is also said that generally a mother loves the last child the most, and I am the last child here. I think mother if she loves me most, I think that's why she given me this honor to be the last. So, however, just to understand what is Living Veda, the entire conference, and what is the objective of this paper is how we can understand and decode Vedas in a very scientific way. That is the objective of this paper. A lot of speakers who have earlier during the conference have given immense knowledge and added to whatever we knew earlier. And finally, as a conclusion, this is one thing which I would want to bring to the table. So, what is
this? Into there with a part of the reading.
Yeah.
And then he talked about he carried the disease of before.
The topic is Philology, Decoding Veda. So, in the light of Sri Aurobindo, this entire presentation is from the perspective what Sri Aurobindo has spoken about the Vedas and what is our responsibility, how to go about understanding Veda as he has gone through this entire thing, understanding Vyaska, then Sayanacharya, and Dayananda Saraswati, and many other scholars who have written extensively on Vedas. But what Sri Aurobindo finally concludes, and from his perspective, I try to bring my research in front of you. So, to start with, so there are two terminologies here. One is philology and the other one is the etymology. So, the philology is actually a field of language where we talk about linguistics, we call it as linguistics, which deals with the root meaning of the alphabets or the syllables. So, we have a word. In a word, there will be an alphabet, a group of alphabets, and then a group of words form the sentence. So what we are now trying to understand is, in a word, there is an alphabet. If you say apple, A-P-P-L-E. So what does A mean? What is the meaning for A? What is the meaning for P? What is the meaning for L? And what is the meaning for E? So if you substitute those meaning for each of the alphabets, you should get the meaning of the apple. That is the true essence of understanding how we can decode Veda through philology. The other one is the etymology. Etymology is the word meaning. As we know, the same example, apple. We don't understand why that A is there, why that P is there, or the L, but we understand apple means a fruit. That is understanding of the etymology. That's the field, words as well as alphabets. So, what is a language? Language is a system of communication where we communicate using words forming sentences. So, in the language we have words, alphabets, and sentences. The language is a system of communication that uses sound, gestures, or a written symbol to convey meaning. It is a tool for expressing thoughts, ideas, emotions, and sharing informations. So in a language, we have sentences, words, and syllables. So sentences, of course, we know, they're a structured combination of words that express a complete thought. Each word by itself is a complete statement comprised of subjects, verbs, and vary in length, complexity depending on the communication. A group of words form a sentence. I don't want to complicate things, I will just make it very simple. Words and syllables are the alphabets. So, the research objective, as I mentioned, to identify the true meaning of the alphabet. What is each alphabet stand for? That's called the Bijartha, or the seed meaning. So, let us see what Sri Aurobindo has spoken about this. Sri Aurobindo says in the Secrets of Veda, the page number 562, a world formed by the development of many forms. I repeat, a world formed by the development of many forms. There are many forms which have formed the world. From one seed, everything is coming from one seed. Ekam bijam bahuda ya karoti. So also is language. So everything starts from a seed. So that's what Sri Aurobindo is saying. So the way the world is created, there are many forms, but everything starts with one starting point. That's one form. So it's just like a seed. So is the language, he says. So also is the language. So in every word or a sentence, in Vedas particularly, there are multiple levels of understanding. The words and alphabets have 3 levels of meaning. The spiritual level, the physical level, and the individual level. The spiritual level is the universal level where you have the cosmos and the energies, how the energies are interacting and how they are influencing us, impacting us. That is the spiritual level. The physical is the sensory level, how we experience with body and mind and the other sensory things as a physical thing, and an individual at the soul level. So, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, and Adhyatmika. These are 3 levels. So, how is the structure? A shloka is a meaningful sentence. Now, if you take it, now I will come to the shloka part where we have Aham Brahmasmi. So, Aham Brahmasmi is itself, there are 2 words there. So, if you dissect that, you have Aham Brahma Asmi. So then you further go, it will be A, Ha, Ma, Bra, Ba, Bra, Ra is half, so it is within the brackets. So then again, Mavattu is there, so within the brackets, Sa and Mi, Smi. So this is how we decode. But what is happening is, as we are speaking, we all know what is Aham, Brahma, Asmi. But we don't know what is A, Ha. So once you substitute this, you will get like a mathematic formula, you will get the complete and the true intrinsic meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. So we'll have further examples. I have shown some examples so we can understand whether it really works, whether it's a science or is it a conjuncture. So all the other scholars, what Sri Aurobindo is saying is, there's no point in understanding and working through conjuncture. So this means this means this. We have to go to the science and decode to such an extent as a seed. So then only we will be able to decode Veda. That's what Sri Aurobindo is speaking. So we will understand. So, but unfortunately, we are unaware of the true meaning of the syllables. That's the Bijartha, and we are talking about the conjunctural road. So, an unambiguous and scientific approach would be the identify each alphabet, syllables, its true meaning, to get the intrinsic meaning of the word. This approach would resolve the problem of truly understanding Vedas in its intrinsic meaning. This is actually the problem statement. This approach would resolve the problem of truly understanding Vedas in its intrinsic meaning. So let us understand what Sri Aurobindo is speaking about and how to approach this entire thing. In such an inquiry, it is obvious that a kind of science of linguistic embryology, he says, linguistic embryology. Embryology is the source, that bija, is the first necessity. That he clearly mentions that you have to go to this embryo level, that is the alphabet level, that is the first necessity. So, source is secret of Veda. So, to reiterate, the identify the Bijartha is the purpose of this research. So, Sri Aurobindo says again, just as only by going back to the formed creature, a creature is formed in this universe, then you have as a whole, then to its skeleton, if you have to go to the creature and understand it, you reach the outer form of the creature, then to its skeleton. From the skeleton to the embryo could be the great truth to be established in the matter. That is how you understand the matter. First you see the creature, its form, and then you see the skeleton, and then you go to the embryo. That's the third level. So, is the great truth to be established in matter, and also the great Vedantic formula hold good. He also says that the same formula will hold good for the Vedanta also. Again, the same secrets of Veda. So, there are two aspects of in language. One is the alphabet meaning, the other is the guna of the alphabet, that is the sound. So what I am talking about is the alphabet meaning, how to understand and decode and what is the meaning, intrinsic meaning of each of the alphabet. And the same alphabet will have a guna, where Sri Aurobindo has mentioned so much about that and he has written. So where that creates a vibration in the mind when used or chanted as a sentence or a shloka. So the alphabet meaning is the seed meaning. Guna of the alphabet creates vibration in the human mind and consciousness when it is uttered. So when we chant a mantra, what happens is there is a vibration in the human mind which alters the consciousness. That is how we are for thousands of years, people have been chanting Veda mantras because they are getting benefit through this. Even though they don't know the meaning, but the benefit is always there, and that is how it has survived for thousands of years. This is called the Vak Shakti. So now let us take an example. So what is a mantra? Mantra is a word. It is formed of syllables. Ma, na, tra, ta, ra. Within the bracket is half ra, ravatto. So as a general etymologist, generally what they say is man plus tra is what is the explanation we understand. Man plus tra, where man is manas, tra is freeing. So, which means freeing the mind. The mantra means we understand as freeing the mind. But actually, if you understand the intrinsic meaning, what it says, ma is, I have written in Kannada below, ma is consciousness force. O is continuous source. Ta is giving. Ra Vattu is consciousness again, but within self. So this is actually not just to decode mantra, the word mantra. Wherever ma is coming in a sentence or a shloka or anywhere, you just have to substitute consciousness force. Yeah, wherever O is coming, you have to substitute continuous source. Wherever ta is to give, and ra means consciousness, again because it is within the, as a small syllable, so it is within. Whenever it's a Ottakshara, it will be within. That shows that it is connected to the individual. So, going back, so what is mantra? Now we will understand, putting this, substituting this, what exactly mantra means. Mantra means consciousness force, continuous source, giving, consciousness within. So what happens when you chant a mantra? It is a consciousness force, continuous source, giving consciousness. It is giving consciousness within us. So that is actually the mantra. That is how it is the true intrinsic meaning. So there are, again, as I said, there are 3 levels of understanding. So is it all the time the same thing? Yes. There are 2 levels. One is the spiritual level, the other one is the physical level. There is a small difference between the spiritual and the physical level. So you have to have the same word, will give a different meaning when you substitute. Mantra, consciousness force, continuous source, giving consciousness within. The physical meaning, where you have ma, means heat, but the source is O again. Ra is actually strong. It becomes as a alphabet, as meaning as strong, Ra. So, there it says, if you say substitute ma, ra, it will give the same meaning where heat source strong. That is the meaning of this. You must have all heard about the story, Valmiki, where Valmiki was a hunter. He could not chant Rama. So, Narada says, why don't you chant Mara? So, Mara becomes Rama. So, Mara is actually the physical level meaning, but the spiritual level meaning is Rama. Rama is actually comes from this lineage of the sun. So that is why you see the same Ma has got the meaning of heat, which means the heat rays, or when the sun rays is there, heat. So the same meaning which is actual also as Ma as consciousness force, also as a physical level it becomes heat. So the Mara also means Rama, that's why in the shlokas, so we repeat the shlokas many times because of this characteristic, which is how it is designed. So now let us say another word, Ganapati. Ganapati. Ga means, again it is human consciousness here. Wherever Ga is coming, we can substitute human consciousness. Na, this is not Na, the bigger Na, it's a phenomena, Narayana. So here it is Gana, so it is phenomena, it's the same Na. Pa is forcefully inducing, Ti is release. So there it was Ta, it is here, it is Ti. Ti is release. So if you substitute, the spiritual meaning is, it's an energy source. What is Ganapati? It's an energy source which through a phenomena forcefully induces and releases human consciousness. Ganapati means it is a phenomena forcefully induces, which is inducing and releasing human consciousness. That's why whenever we are starting any act or any work, we first offer our salutations to Ganapati, because through he is the one who connects and releases the human consciousness for us to act on. So, and that is at the spiritual level. If you see the same thing on the spiritual level, on the physical level, so Ga also means restrict and control. Wherever Ga comes, if you want a physical meaning, you have to substitute restrict and control, you will get the meaning. So at the physical level, it shows action. So for example, Gavi is there, in Gavi, Ga is there. Gavi means cave. So if we substitute restrict and control, that is Ga, Vi means unique. Unique way of restricting and controlling is Gavi. Gavi is a cave which has got a restriction and control. If someone is going and meditating, they can control and restrict the entry, because it is in one side covered and the other side is open. So that is restricted. Similarly, Gari is a feather, or a pakshi, a garigalo, or the feathers of this thing. What happens in the Gari? Gari is basically, it restricts and controls the movement of the bird. That is what is showing the Ga. Re is flow. I have not written here. Re means flow. It's flow, restricting and controlling the flow. That is Gari. So that gives the physical aspect. The spiritual aspect of the same thing is a phenomena forcefully induces and releases human consciousness. The same Ga has got two meanings. One is the restrict and control at the physical level, and the other one is the human consciousness. So I'm talking about everything in Kannada. Why Kannada? So is there any particular reason for using Kannada as the alphabet language, or is it required? Let us see what is the... Kannada is one of the 6 classical languages in India which have been identified, and Kannada and Sanskrit are very close. And similarly, the oldest language, as we are knowing, is the Tamil, where even that is close to Kannada. Kannada has got a 2 dimension. One is the nearness to Sanskrit, and the other nearness to the oldest language, as of now what we understand. So that makes it, and being a classical language, I am able to easily, and of course it's my mother tongue, so obviously I am able to understand and see how it can decode. So once, what Sri Aurobindo says, let us read. The meaning of Vedic words are often extremely disputable, and it would be unsafe, we have to underline this word, unsafe, to rely whether on the significance fixed by the European scholars or on those fixed centuries ago by Sayanacharya or even by Yaska. So what extremely disputable. So what he says is there are a lot of ambiguity in that. So it is highly disputable. So for that, what he says, what is the answer he is giving? It is better and quite sufficient for the immediate purpose to rely upon the classical tongue. It is better to rely upon the classical tongue. Which are the classical tongues? The 6 classical languages. Out of that, of course, I have chosen Kannada. Many people can try from the other languages as well. With its undoubted and well ascertained meanings. The classical language have got undoubted and ascertained meanings. So that is the reason we are able to decode the Vedas. If you straight go to Veda and try to decode, because it's not possible, because the way it is constructed and the etymology what we are trying to understand, there is a lot of disparity, and it is quite extremely disputable is what Sri Aurobindo says. So another thing what he also says is, what I have written in this book, that's the Secrets of Veda, I hope be judged sufficient for a secure foundation. If it does no more, it may possibly lead to a deeper and a free approach to the problem of the origin of speech. So Sri Aurobindo is speaking about the origin of speech, and his work will surely lead to in that direction. If at all it is not, then what? Which once undertaken in the right spirit and with an eye for the more subtle clues cannot fail, is the word underlined, cannot fail to lead a discovery of the first importance to the human thought and knowledge. So I repeat, which once taken in the right spirit and with an eye for the more subtle clues. There are a lot of subtle clues to come to this philology, to understand and give a meaning to the alphabet. So once we do that, cannot fail to lead to a discovery of the first importance to human thought and knowledge. So in other place he says, there is sources is again Secret of Veda, page 562. Only in proportion as we get nearer to the first roots and the rudiments of the structure of the more ancient and primitive language. So what he is directing us to go to the most primitive language, and that we shall have any chance of making really fruitful discoveries. He clearly says you have to go towards the ancient language to make any fruitful discovery. Again he says, we may indeed divide the history of speech. So when we are discovering the history of speech, when did the language start? Which was the first language? And what is the meaning of that language? Because Samskrita we are saying is the oldest language. Okay. So if we are talking about that, that's we are going back to the history, searching the history. We may indeed divide the history into history of speech. Origin into 2 parts. The embryonic, into which research must be immediate. What he says is at the embryonic level, where what he says is the alphabet level. The research must be immediate as of the first importance. The structural, which is less important, that's the etymology, the word and the sentences. We are trying to understand the words and the sentences. That can take a second backseat. The structural, which is less important and therefore may be kept for subsequent inquiry. He clearly says that embryonic, into which research must be immediate as of the first importance. We have to first work on the alphabet level, then we can get into the other things. Another quote, the firmly established notion that our investigations into language must be a search for rules and laws. So it is not that I have given some alphabet a meaning, and once we substitute, we are trying to get, there has to be a law in that, actually, whether it fits in all the situations. Then only he says, search for rules and laws, and not free and untrammable gamblings. So it can't be just a imaginary thing that you gave one alphabet a name, alphabet a meaning, and then it doesn't work. There has to be a rule. So here in my research, there is a rule where there is an algorithm also. So you have to substitute, even though Ganapati is there, Ganapati, so it can't be, there is an algorithm in that where what alphabet comes after what. So then only you will be able to form the sentence, but or else the meaning will be there jumbled up. So for that also there is an algorithm. Once that is the rules and laws, what he is speaking about. It must be a search for rules and laws, and not free and untrammeled gambolings among individual derivations. Much less has there been any real approach to the discovery of the science of language. So what he says is, much less has there been any real approach. There has not been any real approach in this area to the discovery of the science of language. Another quote, this thing, we get a glimpse of the striking and illuminating fact that in the most fundamental forms, a single monosyllable, that is one alphabet, did service equal for noun, adjective, verb and adverb. So what he says is, one syllable is good enough to be a noun, adjective, verb and adverb. All one single alphabet is good enough to express. So first we need to understand what is that alphabet meaning it is trying to give. So now I'll come to some examples. Soma. So what is Soma? Soma is actually, it's a drink. Some they are saying it's a plant. So what is the real meaning through philology, which we can substitute and understand? Soma is actually a long extension, extended. Ma, as I told you earlier, mantra, that Ma came there. I am substituting the consciousness force there also. Soma means long extension consciousness force. So what is happening is, your state of consciousness gets extended. That is the state when you drink Soma. So that is what it is expressing. Okay. Then another word, Surya. So Surya is actually, Su is piercing on one level, and it's also meaning principle. Ya is regulate. Arkavatu is radiation, cosmic radiation. So if you have these words joined together, what it means is, so principal cosmic radiation regulating. So Surya is the one who is principally regulating the cosmic energy. That is exactly coming through alphabet meaning. So we have understood Surya as etymology with different meanings. So Surya has got Ravi, all that. But even if it is Ravi, if you substitute Ravi, Ra is strong, V is unique and strong. That is his character, another character. So like that, the same meaning can be substituted, whatever we have n number of names. So each name, if you substitute, that will give a synonym of the same thing, and the true intrinsic value at the alphabet level still remains the same. So I will use another other meaning, Mitra. There are two alphabet, Mi, Tra. Mi is limitedly. Ta is giving. Ravatu is consciousness within. I had mentioned earlier, a mantra also you have that Ravatu, consciousness within. So what is Mitra? Limitedly giving consciousness within. So what happens is, limitedly, now we have another, so if we can understand this, Mitra is a friend. So when you meet a friend, you get elevated in your conscious. That's why you are happy to meet a friend. So that is the meaning it is giving. So whether it is correct or not is just an assumption. Let us use some other word. Minchu. Minchu is lightning. Lightning just is a spark which comes for a fraction of a second. It is a limited source. Limited. So similarly, me is exactly coming there. Then Milana. Milana is another word. So what is Milana is you come and join together and again go back. So that fractional movement or limited movement joining together is called me. That's the limited which is showing there. And Ta is giving and Ra is actually consciousness because it is a Vattakshara, it is within. So similarly Varuna. Va is a medium. Va means medium. Ru means movement actually. Na is phenomena. I mentioned there earlier also. It is saying again phenomena. What is Varuna? It's a medium moving phenomena. What is Varuna? Varuna is the rain, the cloud. So it is what is happening. It is moving. It's a phenomena which is moving. It's a medium. Cloud is a medium. And it is moving. Its character is to move. And what is a phenomena? Giving rain. So these are the three alphabets which explain Varuna. So we have this shloka Agnimile Purohitam Ignasya Devam Mrityum Hotaram Ratnadata Mam. So I have given each of the alphabet the real meaning. So there are a lot of scholars who can really understand and decode this. So the A is absolute, the absolute. So the absolute is the Brahman, the absolute, A Akshara. If you see the absolute, you have Amma, Appa, the absolute consciousness. Ma is again consciousness force. From that absolute, the mother gets the consciousness force within. Amma, Vattakshara. That is consciousness force within from the absolute. Is Gi is non-stop circulating. Na Akshara is a channel because it's a Vattakshara, it is within. Me is, I told you, limited, highly limited. Because Dirgha is there because it shows high or peak or extreme. Highly limited and blending. Me. Le is highly sunk. So the absolute consciousness, non-stop circulation, channel within, highly limited and blending highly within, sunk, which is sunking into that. That is the Agnimile. So this, of course, there may be more other meanings, but at the intrinsic level, this is what it means. Then Purohitam. Po is force, Ro is severely. He is embrace. Tam is giving endless, because Ta is there, so Sonne also is there, that is O, Akshara, giving endless source. So force severely embracing, giving endless source. Means who is a Purohita? Purohita is one person who is doing the yajna. So he is embracing the force severely. And which source he is embracing? He is embracing the endless source. That is Purohita. Yajnasya, regulating knowledge, regulating life within. So similarly, I think I'm running short of time. So I'll quickly wind up, almost another 2-3 slides. So medium consciousness, I can circulate this, we can have a reading. So Hotaram, similarly each of the Ho is whatever concentrate, endless source. Similarly Dharma. Now I will give you some examples without any detailed alphabet meaning. Dharma. What is the true? We have been speaking about Dharma. We understand Dharma because there are various kinds of Dharma. So what is the real true meaning of Dharma? Dha means balance. Balancing cosmic radiation of consciousness and force. So this is what is Dharma. It can be various kinds of things. See, in various situations, it is only Dharma is only balance. So it is neither that side or neither. Krishna, he says he wants to bring in balance. So between Kauravas and Pandavas. That is Dharma. Dha means balance. Arkavatu, as I mentioned, is cosmic radiation. And Ma again is consciousness force and force. So it is just a substitution and we have got the meaning. So Veda, let us understand, we are doing a conference on living Veda. What exactly is Veda? Ve means distinct. Da means collection. It is a distinct collection. It is highly distinct. It cannot be compared. That is actually the Veda, distinct collection. that is distinct collection is nothing but knowledge. We can call it knowledge also because it's the same thing, distinct collection. So yoga, what is yoga? Yo means conceiving, human consciousness. Ga means, I told you, Ganapati, we got human consciousness. The same Ga is here, human consciousness. And Yo is conceiving. So this, what a yogi or yoga is, they conceive. They bring in the entire consciousness, the supramental or whatever, the forces, the consciousness from the universal consciousness into them. That is called Yo, conceiving human consciousness. So finally, the last slide. So Living Veda, the beautiful conference. So let us understand what it really means philologically. But of course, living is an English word. So I've used a Kannada word, Jivanta Veda. So to understand Jivanta, so what means, G means life. So it is clearly, so living means, Jivanta is exactly coming as life. Va is medium. Varuna, we got the word Va, medium. O is continuous source. Ta is giving. So what is giving? A medium giving continuous source of life through a distinct collection. So we are working through a distinct collection. We are working on the distinct collection, a medium which is giving continuous source of life. This Living Veda so has to go on because it is addressing the real essence of our Sanatana Dharma. So and we could decode the entire Vedas if a lot of other more work is done in this area. I think with that I can conclude my talk. Thank you everyone.